DRG 박수호, 임팩트 김준현, 큐어 김동. 아프리카 TV 브레이크업 스튜디오 라이브 2020 GSL 시즌 코드 S 쇼다운.
Welcome back, everybody. We're going to go to the winners match now and see who will be the first survivor of Group C.
Yes, indeed. It's been a pretty decent group so far. Zest versus Kira, this should be the highlight of the night. Both of them in tip-top shape right now, expecting both to get deep in this GSL.
I will say, just a little side note here, I'm a little bit worried for Impact. He looked good, but incomplete for Code S quality play.
Impact or DRG?
Impact.
Oh, okay.
But DRG also looked, in some sense, incomplete because he was maybe counterattacking when he shouldn't. But again, for getting upgrades, you just, at this level of play, if you just forget upgrades, it's probably over.
Well, I mean, I feel like you're being a little bit harsh on him for that.
Being a negative
it's bad.
Nancy.
It's bad, but like, he's also playing against Cure, which is very, very tough. It's one of the best Terrans out there.
Sure, sure.
I don't know. I think Impact is actually could still get out of this group if Cure wins.
I would love to see him get out.
We'd love to see him
saying, I'm concerned.
Zest.
I'm just a concerned caster here. Ooh. Okay.
All right.
Eternal Empire for game number 1. Zest versus Cure. The winner moves on to the round of 16. Let's go.
전투 준비 완료. 퍼포먼스로 앞서가다 LG 울트라 기어와 넘버원 에너지 드링크 핫식스가 이번 전투를 지원한다고. 라이즈 유얼 엣지 게이밍 제스트 주성. 드래곤 피닉스 게이밍 큐어 김도우.
Dragon what gaming?
Phoenix.
Ah, that's
Gaming.
what I heard, yeah.
Not what you're thinking. So, I'm excited. I'm excited for Zest versus Cure here. Would you agree that Zest is a player who's probably supposed to advance here? Or am I really just underestimating Cure?
I think you are underestimating him a little bit. Like, I could see this really, truly going either way. Maybe slight advantage Zest because he is better under pressure situations. There's very few players as comfortable in these pressure situations as Zest, I would say. Like, he will always deliver his best play. Whereas Cure occasionally will underperform a little bit live. So, I guess that
is actually one, I think, really important distinguishing element here is that, yeah, Zest really has completely and totally done it and dominated. I mean, he's been off and on for sure, but we know what it's like to see Zest in his absolute best form. Cure always looks really, really good, but it doesn't seem to be able to go all the way and deliver. Are you getting some audio interference?
Do you hear the quickest sweeper in the whole world?
It sounds like there's a little choo-choo train in my ear.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay, I don't know what that is.
Sounds to me like someone is like.
But you're getting it too, right?
Really obsessively sweeping a floor as quickly as they can.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, and now it's slowing down. I wonder if our viewers are getting that.
Probably not.
Probably not. All right, well, every once in a while something like this happens. We'll cast our way through it.
That's how we get through everything.
How to get through life, casting his way through it.
Yep.
Oh, he spots the Twilight Council there.
Has to go back up to check again.
And let's see if Zest is going to come out here with some kind of a timing attack or a push here. Starport gets thrown down. Now in this matchup, either race can try to attack into the other. There's not as much of a, at least as far as I understand in the current meta, not as much of a predicament where it's like one race has to be the defender, the other one has to try to come in and stop them. Like we're seeing most typically with Zergs. You know, especially in PvZ, for instance, the Protoss has to come in there and stop the Zergs. Here it can kind of go either way. if one player has an expansion up for too much longer than the other, we would expect then for a push to come from the side with less bases. They would have had to have invested their money into something else.
Yeah, it's, you know, I feel like TVP definitely can have the long, epic type games.
Sure.
Did you see that? He just grenade jumped his Reaper away from the Adept. That was very cool. Very stylish.
One thing about PvZ in general is both races have the ability to get huge sums of their army into any part of the map immediately. Like if you get a Warp Prism in their main and you just warp in a ton of units, suddenly the whole dynamic of the game has changed. Same with Terran. Let's say they're pretending to push in somewhere, they pick up immediately with all their medevacs and dive into the main. A lot of games can be ended like that.
Right now, just a couple Widow Mines going in that medevac, not the whole thing. See what he can get done with it. Zest looking pretty safe overall for Stalkers in a Sentry.
Zest is basically opting to go for very defensive play. We have the Blink almost finished here in 3 bases. This third Nexus about halfway finished. And so what he's looking for is for medevacs that are going to fly in. He wants to kill that and, of course, the Widow Mines that are coming with it and not lose any workers. And this is, the, you know, one of the disadvantages about doing drops like this. And actually, Cure pulls away.
That's hilarious because he just automatically rallied his Observer down there and did not see it. He could have dropped those mines out. Cure, though, saw the blur that was the Observer and turned around. So Cure gets punished here for being good. Yeah. Really, truly. Because Zest didn't see it for a while.
But the thing is, he doesn't know that, right? I mean, it's incomplete information, so better safe than sorry.
It's just like, it's just one of my things, Tastes. I get off on watching Terrans get punished for being good.
It's a situation that'll happen, though, where you look at something and you say, oh, I got to back off.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay,
it's a hard call, but it's a good one.
Take my chances, right? By the way, we have a huge amount of gateways coming down here. It's going to be 6.
That is.
Plus 1 attack coming, Zealot charges coming as well.
Well, this just has to be aggressive.
Oh, yeah. Well, he's going to come in here with a timing attack. Now, as far as Terran goes, there's no third base that's been taken yet. He's getting Reavers. He's getting a lot of infantry. It looks like Terran wants to attack in here, but there's a chance that Zest has enough to absorb the blows that Cure is going to deliver and then shut the game down from there.
I would say what he's doing right now is perfectly suited to be able to hold this type of push. Like, he's going up to, what is it, 8 gates? Charge, Blink, plus 1 attack, and Immortal, a few sentries? That's like, yeah. I don't think he's going to die to this.
So the third CC is made very, very late, but really this whole game, for now, is going to come down to how this engagement is handled here, right? I mean, Combat Shield is done. Stim's going to be finishing up. Cure has shown already today that he can be either completely on top of his pushes and control perfectly, or he gets preoccupied a little bit with trying to take care of stuff back at home. By the way, the first Observer goes down. We'll need to have another Observer set up somewhere to spot for the Widow Mines when they do burrow here.
Don't forget, there's still a medevac with 2 mines behind Zest's natural.
That's true. So it's just parked out over there.
He's right now, basically, Cure is giving Zest opportunities to mess up.
So it's all about this balancing act here for Zest. He needs to have enough in the right spot at the right time. And it looks like the push isn't going to truly commence until these 2 other medevacs come in here and deliver the rest of the units that they carry. Again, though, Zest sitting on 3 bases for much longer. Cure's still on 2. So it's all going to come down to how the Protoss handles its attack. By the way, another Observer spotted here. Stim Marines immediately take that out as well. So we'll need to have another Observer set up here. Spot for the Widow Mines. By the way, here comes that attack over here. And actually, this is 2 attacks at 2 different locations.
Oh my god, but Cure doesn't care about one side. As long as one side does something, he's good to go. And look at this, he's doing something at the natural. Only a couple Stalkers left there to deal with the mines, but those 2 medevacs dropping in quickly. Now a bunch of the army coming back. A huge warp-in of Stalkers here. Oh my god, look at this move from Cure, just beautiful.
Okay, Cure, I think, actually doing a brilliant job over here as Zest is thrown off of balance. It's just these 3 Marines, or 3 Immortals, excuse me, against these Marines that are over here. It looks like he barely manages to hold that off, but not without suffering a lot of damage. Now, that being said and done, the Protoss still has the 3 Nexuses up. Probes can easily be remade here.
That's
It'll be about 2 rounds of probes at each Nexus, and you're pretty much back on track.
Yeah.
So I would say Zest has hung on, but not without suffering some losses.
Yeah, like I would say that was definitely very good for Cure. He reduced some of the valuable army. A lot of Stalkers ended up getting brought to the table, which are not as needed. You know, like, look how many Stalkers he has right now. Does this look like the type of army you need extra Stalkers against? Not in my opinion. But
Right.
We'll see what he gets done with that. In the meantime, Cure continuing to tech up. He's got his third base landed just now. He's actually ahead on workers, which is huge in this matchup. And he's ahead on army supplies still, as we are kind of still in the mid-game.
Well, Zest is going to try to poke in here. He's just going to keep the Terran back for a little bit. And now we go into this 3-base versus 3-base game. Both players are teching up, upgrades continuing to be made.
Yeah, and it looks like Templar tech coming out for Zest, but
Yeah.
already EMP enhanced shockwaves coming for Cure. So it feels like Cure is just a step ahead.
Yeah, Cure's playing a really good game here.
He's definitely going to be ready for the Psy Storm.
And Psystorm is so important to make that connect, especially against the infantry when they're trying to stim in and come on top of you. If you can blanket an area with that, it's devastating. So with the 4th base coming down now, you know, you got to wonder, you know, with EMP finishing up, is Terran going to try to do some kind of push again, similar to when we had the 2-base versus 3, now the 3-base versus 4. The player that's usually lower on base is the one more inclined to attack. Because their income, assuming they're playing properly, is going somewhere. If it's not into another base, it has to be into upgrades in another army. And so we wait and see how that goes.
Yeah, it's kind of this little bit of a resting period. The arms race. Let's get up to what is needed at the moment.
The macro phase of the game.
Yeah.
Now, we talked about Terran trying to push into maybe 12 o'clock here, or maybe even the natural or the 3rd. But, you know, with War Prisms as well, and maybe Protoss getting map control earlier here, I mean, even though he's not using it, he should have map control, right? Could we see the Protoss try to simply counterattack as the Terran pushes out? Maybe hit the 3rd here. I mean, blinking War Prisms give you a lot of mobility.
Well, definitely I think you want a Prism out there to threaten such a thing and possibly get it done. Right now, he's just got to make sure he takes this engagement correctly. He does have this single War Prism full of High Templars, which is, you know, obviously a trick that you really want to do against Ghosts.
This is a 120 supply army here for Cure. Cure's basically maxed out. Oh my God!
Wow.
Can you get more units than that physically? Is that possible? I don't know.
They'd have to be burrowed under those units.
Wow. And now with this engagement coming here,
my God.
and he disabled the War Prism.
Huge.
Cure completely disarming this attack here, and now we have just Zest just fleeing into the corner here as EMPs come down. Oh my God.
My God! Cure! Just brutal. He micros so well there. Hits the sickest armor shred. That disable,
so sick.
Unreal. The speed of the EMP on those 2 High Templars.
GG. Wow.
Like,
I mean,
what?
Cure just smashed Zest
That was
there.
so perfectly
Beautifully done.
And you can see that it was like the razor's edge, that if he didn't do everything he just did there correctly, that was going to be very difficult for him.
Should Zest not have attacked in there after he got Cheeto dusted?
I think he had to, or he was losing 12 o'clock.
I guess that's true, but he's going to lose that fight. I don't know.
Well, if he actually gets the...
Hard.
Like, if he does not get disabled on his Prism, I think he can hold it. You know, he's going to lose a chunk of his army, but I think 2-3 more Psy Storms on that army at the beginning of the battle, absolutely he can hold off that attack and save his 12 o'clock, which I think is the most important thing.
We're going to go to Nightshade for game number 2. Zest versus Cure. Cure, really strong pushes, really good control. Zest, he had the defense up until a point, but with, I would say, about 5 seconds of completely perfect execution. You're destroying the armor, disabling Warp Prism, and then the EMP is to deny the storms. I mean, it was so sick. Anyways, let's go to game 2 and see who will advance to the round of 16.
전투 준비 완료. Rise Your Edge Gaming, Zest, 주성.
Certainly didn't look bad that game. Didn't go his way, though.
드래곤 피닉스 게이밍 큐어 김도.
Phoenix Gaming.
Are you correcting the voice?
You- yeah,
It's good to be 12 again.
I know. It's good that we're forever high school here at GSL.
Yeah.
Okay. I wonder if Kira's going to do a similar style to the last game, getting a later third, getting a bunch of barracks trying to push out.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's like the most normal build. Obviously, there can be a little bit of flexibility in what you're opening with. Is it a Widow Mine drop or whatever? But getting your upgrades going, getting those 3 racks, getting kind of your full tech out, and then going for that third command is just such a nice, safe way to play. What's so funny, Taste?
Nothing. Nothing. Why are you asking?
Because you're laughing. You're just sitting there laughing. I didn't say anything
Because I was
funny.
just thinking about, you know, where do we draw the line? I was just thinking that my favorite part of the dragon is the phoenix. So.
Oh my god.
Sorry. I didn't listen to anything you said before. I was just laughing myself.
No, it's fine.
Please
man.
carry on.
It's well done.
Anyways, I really think that we might go to game 3 here, to be honest with you. Zest looked really good up until
You can tell that by
a
the
few seconds.
the Twilight?
Yes. No, I say that because it just the way those games looked. By the way, you have a pylon put outside here, and I think Zest is changing it up a little bit. Zest was very passive in the last game. He was really setting up to absorb attacks and stay ahead. Yeah. He kind of picked a Zerg-like role in that game. But this time we have a pylon proxied not far from the natural here. Oh, wow. A Dark Shrine and probably a gateway to go down here as well.
But how is he going to get his pylon in the main base of Cure?
Yeah, he forgot to make a Nexus in the main, so that was his first mistake.
Yeah, he really screwed that up.
Nexuses are made to be made in your opponent's main, and then sometimes to gather resources in other spots on the map.
Yeah, and sometimes if things go really wrong for your opponent, you can gather resources in their main.
Yeah, when it becomes a base trade, you're like, that's fine.
I already have a Nexus over here. How could I ever lose?
Yeah, and then I'll just make another Nexus in the proper spot, and there you go. Bing, bang, boom.
Easy peasy. All right. Chasing that Reaper away. It did see the Twilight, but the Twilight was not upgrading.
Yeah. Well, this is certainly, if you're from the Terran, you're thinking DTs. You're checking your main for Nexuses right now. You're saying, is there any Nexuses in here? Okay. Uh-oh. So now, Kier knows exactly what's coming. It's also an awkward moment for the Protoss because it's so late. I mean, is canceling even an option? I don't think so. I think you got to kind of go with it, right?
Yeah, I think you have to let it finish and see what you can get done with it. A couple DTs being made. I mean, his eBay is not done, right? He might just bring it all in at once so that the DTs might not get targeted or something. Oh. Well, I mean, that's a scan that doesn't get the DTs.
Yeah. Only losing shields there. Whoa, he kind of missed. All right, we're not going to see. He kills that. The second scan coming down.
Yeah, I think he's just trying to maximize his time here. So he starts running in knowing it won't quite die by the time the scan runs out. Okay, another one goes in. Oh, wow. Just keep flooding DTs in. I love it.
Is Zest going to be ready for this, though? Some workers are getting picked off. The turret's coming down here now, too.
This is the funniest looking mine drop I've ever seen.
Is he going to bro it?
If he would.
Wow. 12 kills.
Well, I tell you one thing. Neither of them were looking at Zest's main for most of this. that was a very weird
tell you right now, both their screens were sitting here floating over Kier's natural.
Yeah, a lot of concentration going on. All right, are we going to see Colossus? Or are we going to see Disruptor?
I want to see Disruptor. But my brain tells me maybe Colossus?
Yeah.
Also, this is a pretty awkward spot. When you DT rush and don't do enough damage, you know?
If he had lost the probes, it would have been okay.
Yeah, it would have been fine, but he did lose the probes. And you
know, but what if he didn't lose the probes?
Yeah. I'm like, what if he was Zerg? What about that, huh?
Yeah.
No, I mean, he didn't. The Terran didn't lose any Widow Mines or Medivacs or anything in that attack. Where with DTs, whenever you're doing damage with them, they're almost like Banelings a lot of the time. Like they stay in there until they're gone.
Yeah. That's true. Well, the Archon drop, of course, such a useful maneuver against Terran.
Yes.
Don't see it too often.
Yeah, he wants to get more probes here.
Very annoying.
Okay, well, if he can actually surprise this, just come in here. Okay, he disables that, but there's not much you can do from there.
Yeah, kind of
so it's
funny.
It almost seemed like he just kind of spammed that out.
Yeah, it was like a reactive thing. Because if you do it like right here, then you kill the Archon.
This is a spell the Raven has.
It's kind of like these sentries that throw down a force field in the middle of nowhere right before they die.
just one.
Like, oh, I gotta use this man before it dies, or it wasn't worth it. No, you don't.
I'll split their army in half, but they'll still do all the damage to me.
All right, Colossus tech coming out right now. Archon drop continues.
You know, he's so close to just killing all of those SCVs of the geyser with those. Oh, okay, three kills here.
Yeah, the Archon drop doing a fair amount. Can't really complain about that, right?
I think we're gonna have a push here from Terran. 1-1's done along with combat shields. Why not? Head on out.
And don't forget, he actually used one disable on the Prism, and it really didn't do anything. So that's one less disable for Colossus.
That's a good point. Now, the Colossus is the most important part when fighting off huge clumps of Marines here.
He just killed... There's no Archons left now.
Yeah.
Ouch. That's not good.
SCV's pulled.
You know what's good against that? A couple Archons.
You've got a point.
Yeah.
You've got a point, young Ardo. Oh! Okay, we need that disabled. There's one down. Force field is not going to do anything.
The force field's actually buying a bit of time there.
Yeah, actually, this is some of the best value I've seen out of force fields. The way he arced that around and just buy enough time where nothing efficient could happen for the Terran at all.
This is what you want to do in theory anyways. If they're going to disable your Colossus, you have to go out and meet them and then slow them down with force fields.
3 Colossi now, and an infantry army that would have to push through a very narrow area. You can see JYP showing us there's only one Raven out here, so we're not going to have any real disabled takedowns coming in here. Terran's continuing to push in, but this is still a lot of surface area to cover here for the Terran. You know, when you see workers pulled, you need to do damage very quickly here. Here comes that stem.
Oh, he's just shredding.
Zest is just going to completely destroy this.
Oh my god.
Like, what are you doing? Keep your workers at home. You could have had more units.
Those are not even fighting units. Those are mining units.
Yeah.
Tasus, you were so right.
I know they haven't attacked, but that doesn't mean you should be using them like that. I actually thought Cure was playing really well, but I think that timing attack was questionable.
Yeah, it did not work out.
And I think this all goes back to that disable on the Warp Prism.
That is definitely part of it. Like, you need, if you're going to do an attack like that, you need to be able to disable the Colossus, but the correct counterplay really is running up, utilizing force fields, like just trade, you know, 150 Sentry energy every time that they disable. You're just like, okay, make a wall. That's it. Now you get slowed down, and yeah, it kind of lets that run out so your Colossus can actually fight.
Game 3. Sim Eula Pro. Am I doing it right? You say it, Artosis.
Mercalames.
Simulacrum. Simulacrum.
Simula.
That's it.
Crumb.
That's the right way to say it.
Simulacrum.
Simulacrum. Let's go.
전투 준비 완료. Rise Your Edge Gaming, Zest, 주성. 드래곤 피닉스 게이밍 큐어 김도.
It's the best part of the dragon.
So, Tasus, you called it at just the twilight, and then he got his proxy GT scouted, still won. That's how good you know it. Who wins this one then?
Zest.
Damn.
Any more questions, Artosis?
Does DRG take a map off Impact?
Yes.
Ooh, 2 maps?
That I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Definitely one.
You only see so far in the future.
Yeah. Clairvoyance is not that straightforward, okay?
Yeah, it's difficult.
Me and the rest of the ladies that can read tarot cards get it, but you don't.
That's for sure.
You ever done that? You ever done that just for fun?
No.
Had your fortune told or something like that?
No. Well, I've had someone read my palm.
What did it say?
Long life, rich,
Lose to DTs.
children. Yeah, lose to DTs.
There was some.
Well, she knew that when she saw the tears on my hands. So, not only lose to DTs, but has lost to DTs.
The tears on your hands.
Yeah. People think I have sweaty hands. It's actually just tears that I keep wiping away, thinking about my ladder games.
Okay. I think Zest had the right idea of trying to just seize control of the game. I think that against a player like Kier, if you play passive, he really is good at getting in there and taking fights and pushes. And Kier also seems to be more warmed up from the TVCs he was playing earlier.
Okay.
But let's see. I mean, we have another Twilight Council. Also, that attack from Kier, I guess it all goes. It does really all go back to that disable on the War Prism, which is just like, what are you doing? I
think
you're not going to get it.
Hell, but yeah, I mean that definitely was not good.
I think Zest might have still held, but yeah, if you could actually get the 2 disables off on the Colossi and get in there in time, that's huge. By the way, guys, that's one of the reasons why we see the Colossi with the army push out and try to meet the Terran in the middle, is you want to bait out the disable and then run back and use force fields and buy time. Because once
you fight at your nexus is dead.
Then you're like, oh no, and you run into they blow up your nexus. But if you can meet them in the middle of the map, then you shoot the disables, you run, and you lay down force fields behind that. And actually, Zest force fields, I was saying initially when we saw the attack happen that it wasn't good, but he actually did this cool arcing turn. He made like an L block, like an L Tetris block.
Yeah. And
it went around at such an angle that everything for Protoss got to get away, even though it wasn't completely walled out.
Yeah. Zest now taking his 3rd. His Blinken, his Robo on the way. Pretty standard stuff coming out of Kira, getting that Raven. A couple more racks coming up. There's a Hellion running around the map right now doing some scouting.
So Artosis, we've talked about us trying to live forever, or putting our brains into robots, or becoming robots, all that stuff, or downtime. But I was watching Interstellar, and it dawned on me that if you ever become a robot, you're going to become that Tetris block robot from Interstellar.
Tetris block robot.
Did you see Interstellar?
Yeah, it's a really good movie. It's been a long time though since I saw it.
The robot that's like a board. Do you remember this? Oh my God, I was ready to riff on this joke with you, but you don't remember it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, damn it.
I don't remember Tetris block robot.
All right, I'm going to make you look at it on your phone on the break.
I remember him standing behind a bookcase and time looked like sand or something. I was like, huh.
It's a good movie. I just rewatched it a couple nights ago.
Yeah, it is. It's a really good movie.
Although I will tell you that one scene where the guy's like, well, it'll be 22 years. I guess I'll stay here. I would have been like, no, I'm going to go over there and be gone for 3 hours and come back. I'm not going to wait 22 years. No. But I do feel like that guy in our StarCraft 1 TVDs when I'm finally done. I come back and I'm like, it's over. It's over, Artosis.
You've aged when no one else has.
Yeah. You haven't aged, but I have. I'm like, man, that matchup. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
Yeah. I haven't had human contact in a long time. By the way, he's coming in here with these stalkers, and I feel like I'm not.
This
clear
was
on
weird.
What is he actually trying to do here? Does he want to just get everything in the red
Well,
and
he
then not
wanted
win?
to make him sell the bunker and kill one SCV and one Marine. That was the plan.
No,
And he did it perfectly. That's exactly what he got done.
That was weird because we saw so many different things get attacked.
Yeah, it felt like he was not making up his mind.
Okay, a little bit of a wonky game here from Zest. I feel like more is supposed to be happening here. By the way, Charge is about to finish, so if he wants to come inside the main. By the way, is there a Widow Mine there waiting for him? There's something at that very edge.
Yeah, I think it might be a
It
depot.
might be. What is it? Okay, it is a depot.
Depot not so much waiting for him.
Yeah, it's waiting. Yeah.
Now's my chance.
As it flies
Goes
over.
down.
Yes, the depot goes down. Like,
Ha! Can't
just
see me
to let him
now.
know, I'm watching you. Oh, I feel like we're okay. Disables the Immortal.
Yeah, but uses those force fields as
Yeah,
needed.
he's got to buy time. The Zealots come through here. I don't think this is enough Zealots though.
All right. Army starts coming up. He does have those the Guardian Shield as well as a couple of Mortals. The Stalker group coming up now to help fight.
This just is
Should be
not
enough.
enough here for Terran. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that was kind of a cool blink down, actually, and he's microing it back well enough. Some damage being dealt to those Stalkers, but overall it goes very well for Zest, and he's going to clean up everything. Wow, that was a really nice execution from Zest. Quite like
Yeah, and now it's Kira just pushed back onto 2 bases. Granted, the counterattack for the War Prism didn't do that much. The big push was killed off there. So Kira's suffering many more losses, and by the way, that bunker is gone, my friend.
Oh, he planned for this like 6 minutes ago. All right, this army seems to me to be big enough to hold on against any incoming attack.
I don't know about this Raven. He's like, how? Try auto turret on for size.
Trying things on for size.
I know. I love the way.
Look at the amount of mines here.
Yeah.
I don't think you can break this as Zest, right? Like, he's doing a bit of damage.
I think he can maybe keep pushing through. I don't know, man. This is quite a bit. Every time the Terran pushes out.
Look at the amount of mines.
Yeah, but they're all gone now. Well, a lot of them are gone now, I should say.
Yeah, some of them are gone now.
Yeah. There we go.
There's some more coming up.
This is more of the Goldilocks cast here.
See? No problem.
But Zest sits on 30 bases, propelling himself economically further along in the game. And just little plays like this, it's enough to keep the Terran back home, because if you lose control of your main here, you're out of the game.
Well, he's got quite a bit of production, ready to get that third base up in mining. Approximately equal in all ways. Ghost Academy coming up right now. We don't see any splash damage added for Zest as of yet. Doing maybe a little bit more of his brute force attacks. 5 Immortals? What is this, PvZ or PvP?
I like it. I think he stays on this kind of unit comp for a little bit further now.
Yeah.
I mean, if he just punts the CC off of that spot in the third.
Yeah. Mortals are a good unit.
It's the greatest unit, Artosis.
Tasteless. They are literally garbage next to the Baneling, okay? Garbage.
Garbage.
Yes.
They're good. They're good units still.
Yeah, it's a very good unit.
Like, Tasteless is the second best unit in the game. Well, he's going to tear this down, and I mean, there's plenty of Widow Mines littered around over here.
Yeah.
I don't think we actually have an observer. Is that correct?
I don't see one. And
But you would have think with 5 or 6 Immortals, it's like we could have gotten one of these guys.
Oh, wow,
Okay.
that Zealot flank doing just about nothing, but
Right,
the amount of
this
Mortals
is-
he has, he is just going to clean this up.
Yeah, there's just way too much here, and as I said, Artosis, Zest will move on. Right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, he lost all those SCVs as well. All right. Zest moving on in first place. I think a lot of people probably did expect that for today. Kira, though, showing he definitely can fight toe-to-toe with Zest. Not going his way, though, this time.
I enjoyed that series. I think Zest made the right adjustments in his play. And we're going to have an interview now with Zest. Kira's certainly not happy with that, but I think he knows his chances of getting out of this group are still pretty good.
Yeah, I don't think he's afraid of either of the Zergs that could be coming up to fight against him. DRG versus Impact, of course, in our loser match. We'll be seeing that after our commercial break, which is after our interview.
Which will be done by Andy Yuri. Here we go.
Okay, we're going to have an interview with Zest, the first winner of Group C. Congratulations. Thank you. And after a back and forth match, you pick up the 2-1 victory, and now you move on to the round of 16. And how do you feel?
일단
Well, first of all,
그 4강 치고는 조가 좀 어려워가지고 걱정을 하고 왔는데
round of 24 was quite hard,
잘 돼가지고
and I'm just glad that I played well today. Well, the PVZ was quite amazing. You used the warp prism so well, and your auto strategy definitely shined. So how was it?
요새 좀 게임 할 때 빼고도 약간 생각을 많이 해가지고
Recently, I think a lot during my games,
생각을
and just how to be a picky player.
답이 좀 나오는 것 같고.
And I think I'm beginning to find the answers.
못 보여드린 빌드가 많아가지고.
But yet, I have some strategies that I want to show but haven't showed. So in the round of 16, I'll try to show more of those strategies. How confident are you, Zest? It feels like you're well prepared. Your practice definitely shined as you moved on in the IEM Katowice. And currently, Rogue has been eliminated from brackets. So is there any Zerg player who can go up against you, Zest? Well, it feels like I feel like Rogue became quite complacent after winning the championship. But I think he will be able to regain his form if he practices a lot.
있어도 상관없었다 말씀하신 게 참 인상적입니다. 2020년 GSL 시작은 아주 순조로웠어요.
And your 2020 year has started off on the right foot. So anything you want to say to your fans? So I want to say thanks to Ragnarok and Rogue for helping me in the scrims, and I'm trying my best right now. So I think my fans can have high expectations of me this season. Once again, congratulations. Thank you.
Cool. I'm happy to have Zest move on. And I think Kirstle's got a very good chance.
Yeah, absolutely. And by the way, that's our first Protoss to move up. So
that's right.
Very important to get him into that next round.
Everything's going according to plan here. Keeping the balance there. Coming up, though, we have a ZVZ here. I'm really curious to see how this is going to go. DRG looked very good, but I don't want to say rusty. Just he was engaging when he probably shouldn't have, and I think that's something that you figure out over time. So I don't know. Who do you think takes this, DRG or Impact?
Impact.
Impact? Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
We got a quick break. We come back. The losers match. Don't go away.